Hi, my name is Diana, the Dummy Cook, and today I would like to give you a few extra tips related to Thermomix accessories. Alright, let's start with the bowl. Bowl tips. When you're making dough, there are two cool tricks to release the sticky dough from the bowl. The first one is to twist the back of the blade from the bottom and see the dough will fall. And two, for the leftover dough, you can use the turbo mode right here. 1 or 2 seconds to release the dough from the blades onto the bowl sides for easy scraping. This last trick can also be used to dry the blades. If you're in a rush and you need the water droplets to leave the blades, you can try that. Or you can try this other tip that I read about. In order to dry your bowl fast, you can put a paper towel inside, choose 10 seconds right here, choose the blade in reverse mode, which is the dull side of the blade, on speed 1, and ta-da! Totally dry. Well, that's what I read about. I tested it myself and it kind of works, but it's not completely dry. I guess that I needed more paper towel or maybe even like a kitchen cloth. I tried that too. Well, I'm doing research for you and I'm passing on things that a lot of people are talking about. One last tip for the bowl. Please remember that the maximum fill line is shown here. So if you're ever cooking manually, please make sure you don't go higher than this, which is 2.2 liters or a little over half a gallon, 0.58 gallons. If you're following a guided recipe and you're trying to double the quantities in your head, some people do that when the recipe doesn't have a scaling version provided by Cookidoo, please see that that might be why the recipe could not be scaled. It's because the contents were not supposed to go over that line. Let's say that you had a soup that was already going up to here. Can you double it? Of course not. Lid tips. Tip number 1. Do you know that you can use the whole of the lid as a funnel to fill in jars? If you just made jam and you need to fill a bunch of jars, use this trick to keep the jars and your kitchen clean. Tip number 2. In many recipes, you'll see that the simmering basket is required on top of the lid, and you'll be wondering why is that? That is a rule that started last year in 2023, I believe. Until then, those same recipes had the measuring cup instead. But it was decided that when food is boiling inside the bowl, it should not be covered airtight. There should be an opening so pressure wouldn't build inside. That's why they made a change to all those recipes and they chose to put the simmering basket as a cover instead, which was designed to be inside the bowl and still is in many cases when you want to steam potatoes and veggies or rice. Anyway, so by putting this on top of the hole, they make sure that the hole is covered, but not completely. That's why when you start your Thermomix, you see that warning that says risk of scalding. They want you to be very aware of that, especially when you cook manually. Because if you're in a guided recipe, you will be instructed to put the simmering basket on anyway. Now, in my case, knowing this, when I don't have the simmering basket around, I use the measuring cup, but I don't lock it. I leave it loose with a clear opening. This is just what I do. It's not my advice. I'm just telling you the reason for that change in the recipe and what I am doing to follow the safety guidelines. Lid tip number 3. When milling sugar or grinding spices, add a paper towel or parchment paper under the measuring cup before snapping it in place, and the powder will not come out. Let's keep going. Varoma tips. What other things can we learn about the varoma that I didn't say in my accessories tutorial video? Well, first of all, the name varoma comes from the words vapor and aroma, highlighting the steaming process that infuses flavors into the food. Let's list 10 varoma tips right here. 1. Varoma temperature. When you're using the varoma, you'll see the recipes always have the temperature set at varoma. That is the special setting for steam cooking, which is typically 120 Celsius or 248 Fahrenheit, right here. Go all the way, and that is temperature varoma. 2. Adding parchment paper. Use parchment paper when you're cooking sticky ingredients like chicken or fish. That way, you will not need to clean each of these holes. And if you get the paper a little wet, it will stay put much better. You are also using parchment paper to cook some items in their own juice, to make sure that different fluids don't mix, like the chicken dripping on top and the soup on the bottom, etc. Or you will need parchment paper for sure when the items that you're cooking could fit through the holes, like when you're making eggs. To ensure the holes in the Varoma dish remain unobstructed and allow steam to flow, place the butterfly whisk lying flat or 2 small chopsticks in the bottom of the dish to lift the paper lining off of the holes. Number 3, the Varoma lid. Once you're done cooking, turn the Varoma lid around and use it as a tray so the contents don't drip around your kitchen. And always make sure that the Varoma lid sits properly, otherwise steam will escape and the food inside won't cook through. For example, when I'm making the carrot cake, I need a 9x5 loaf pan, right? Well, look, this one doesn't fit perfectly. The handles are too big, so when I try to close it, I always have a little opening here or a little opening here. In this case, I had to put foil paper around and it looked like a UFO. When I tried the foil version, it fit perfectly because I was able to bend it a little. So anyway, just play with it. Just make sure that the lid is closed completely. Number 4, dish versus tray. Did you know that when you're steaming, it makes a difference if you use the dish or the tray? The dish is ideal for larger, bulkier items that need longer, gentler cooking. The tray works well for thinner, more delicate items or those needed even exposure to steam. Let me give you a few examples. With protein, use the dish for whole chicken breasts, chunks of meat, or dumplings, where retaining moisture is key. Use the tray for fish fillets, tofu, and thin chicken cutlets because it provides even steam circulation and prevents overcooking. With vegetables, use the dish for root vegetables like potatoes, carrots, or larger chunks of broccoli or cauliflower, as the extra heat helps cook them thoroughly. Use the tray for leafy greens like spinach, kale, or thinly sliced veggies like zucchini, asparagus that cook quickly. Number 5, different cooking times. You can also arrange ingredients in the dish versus the tray based on cooking times. Put longer cooking items on the dish and quicker cooking ones on the tray. That way you can remove the tray when the quick ones are done and the rest of the items can continue cooking in the dish. Proofing dough. If you live in a cold climate, did you know that you can proof dough in the Varoma? I'm not going to give you times and temperature because it depends on which type and how much dough you need to proof. So please look it up based on your own needs, but you will have water in the bowl and you will use either a slow speed with a low temperature or you will use the fermentation mode preset right here. Number 7, sterilizing bottles. You can use the Varoma steam to sterilize bottles for homemade jams, sauces, or even for baby food. Just add water up to the half-liter mark, choose 20 minutes, temperature Varoma, and speed 1. 20 minutes, temperature Varoma, and speed 1. Tip number 8, infusing flavors. You can steam vegetables with herbs, spices, or citrus zest in the water, or you can steam fish, for example, over a bed of herbs or citrus slices to infuse flavors as well. Or you can steam desserts like puddings or cakes, adding vanilla pods, citrus zest, or spices to the steaming liquid, allowing the steam to carry these flavors into the desserts. This trick works also when you're using the Simmering Basket. For example, you can add flavors to your rice by incorporating lime, lemongrass, stock, or chili to the water below. We're almost done. 2 more tips. Number 9. Instead of the oven, use your Varoma sometimes. Steaming avoids overcooking and creates a smooth texture. It's more energy efficient than heating a large oven, and steaming helps retain more vitamins and minerals in food compared to oven cooking, which can degrade heat-sensitive nutrients. Number 10. Instead of the microwave, use your Varoma sometimes. Steaming maintains the natural moisture in foods, resulting in better texture and taste, unlike microwaving, which can dry out food. You can defrost frozen meals or gently warm leftovers, preserving the integrity of your ingredients. If you're defrosting meats, though, please research the time and temperature you need for your specific case. Improper defrosting can pose health risks. My goodness, the Varoma tips alone are enough for one video. I guess I'll publish that separately one day. Oh. Okay, so this is all for today. I hope you learned many more tips. If your consultant sent you this video, please give them a call. They are there to guide you and answer any questions you may have. If I am your consultant, that is awesome. You know where to find me. You can email me right here. And regardless, if you have feedback, questions, or comments, please enter them right here. I would love to hear from you. Maybe you have a video suggestion or questions. Let's all talk. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much.